Here we are on problem number 3 in the guided practice 7. So this is the second part of the guided practice for this section for 6.2. And we are now revolving our solids around a line that's not an axis. So for the line x equals -1. So the first thing we want to do is get a really good picture. So in this case, we've got x equals y squared minus 9. So this is a parabola that opens to the side, and it opens to the left because it's negative y squared. And if you take, and it starts at 9, right? If you plug in y equals 0, you get x equals 9. So that means that 9, comma 0 is the vertex, okay? If you set it equal to 0, and factor it, that's going to give you y equals plus or minus 3 as its zeros. So my parabola should look like this. Okay. X equals 0 is the y-axis. So it's asking me to take this area and revolve it around the line x equals -1. And x equals -1 is right here. Okay, so I'm spinning it around there. Clean this up so I can make it pretty. Okay, so I'm taking the same volume and I'm going to flip it around that line. So if that's 1, then this is 1. And it goes like this. Okay. What that means is that when I'm thinking about boundaries, first of all, this is all in terms of y. And so my y values are going to go from -3 to +3. So if I'm writing my volume, this is going to be pi times the integral from -3 to +3. And again, we're thinking in terms of y's. Now I want my radii, so I'm going from my line that I'm revolving it around, which is x equals -1, out to the outer edge. So I want this distance. Okay. I always think about it from right to left, so outside minus the inside. So what we're doing here then is taking the outside curve, which is the 9 minus y squared, and subtracting it from -1, which is the line that I'm revolving it around, right? Just as if I'm doing the area between the two curves. The area between the parabola and this line is the outside one, or the rightmost one minus the leftmost one. So the rightmost one is the 9 minus y squared, and the leftmost one of those two is the -1. Okay, and I'm squaring that because we're finding the area. Then I want the inner radius. So the inner radius goes from here, my line of revolution, to here. Okay, and so that's minus, because we're doing the first one minus the second one. Now, to get this area, I take the rightmost line, which is 0, minus the leftmost line, which is x equals -1. And I'm squaring that and going dy. So this is going to be pi times the integral from -3 to 3 of, let's see, that's going to be 10 minus y squared, and that's minus +1 squared anyway, it's going to be 1 dy. And this is going to be integral from -3 to 3. 10 squared is 100, minus 20 y squared, plus y to the 4th, minus 1 dy. Combine like terms, that gives me -20. Let me put them in order. How about y to the 4th, minus 20y squared, plus 99 dy. Now we find our antiderivative. So 1/5, y to the 5th, minus 20 over 3, y cubed, plus 99 times y. evaluated from -3 to 3. And then we're just plugging in values. So -3 to the 5th is -243 over 5. 3 squared is 27 times 20. Well, actually, 27 over 3 is 9. 20 times 9 is 180. So -180 plus, oh wait, hold on. Back the train up. I'm doing what you guys often do, and that is I'm plugging in the -3 first. The nice part is that it's just 3, so this is 243 over 5 minus 180 plus 3 times 99, which is 297. When I plug in -3, they all become negative. So that's -243 over 5. Plus, hold on a second. Yep, that should be right. Okay, plus, when we plug in -3, that's -27 over 3 is -9, which makes it plus, is the 180. And then we've got -297. And what that does, I believe, is just gives us 2 areas. So I get 2 of those. So 243 over 5 minus 180 plus 297 happens to be 238.5. Distribute your negative, and you get exactly the same thing back. Right, so 243 over 5 minus, oh wait, hold on a second. Scratch that, 243 over 5 minus 180 plus 297. See, this is why we all get different answers. It's the calculating part of things. All right, so let's go back, and that's 165.6. And that's what we should get for both of these. And that should give me 331.2 pi. If you like it in fractions, it is 1,656 pi over 2. Nope, over 5. Okay, and so that is our answer for number 3 on the guided practice. So that one is a y equals around a line, okay, around a vertical line. This one in number 4, we're rotating it around the line y equals -1. So let's get our graph first. So that we have the function, let's go, yellow is our first one. So x squared plus 1, my vertex is at 1 and it's opening up. And then the second one, which we're going to go blue, is 9 minus x squared, which means it's opening down and starting at 9. So it looks like this. So what I'm rotating is just this section. And on the, whoa, sorry about that. It is blue on the upper half, that's the parabola that opens down, and yellow on the lower half. Okay, then let's find some boundaries. So x squared plus 1 equals 9 minus x squared. So add the x squared, subtract the 1, that's x squared, 2x squared equals, what, 8? And that's x squared equals 4. Take the square root, that gives me x equals positive or -2. So this happens at 2 and -2. Now, I want to rotate that around the line y equals -1. So let me fix this just to get them out of the way. So the line y equals -1 is down here. So I'm revolving it around that line. So that means I want a mirror image down here. So this point is 2 from my revolving axis, so that I'm going to go 2 past here. And it does something like this. And then from there it's 8. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 to here, and we're revolving it. Okay, so let me shade some area here. My cross section. That's really bad. Sorry, I'm going to try that again. Looks something like this. Okay, so that's my washer. And we need an outside radius and an inside radius. Okay, so we're going, the outside radius goes from my revolution axis, my y equals -1, all the way up to the top. That's my R outside. My inner radius goes from that same line up to the bottom curve. That's my RI. Okay. So that means that RO is looking at the difference in those two curves. Okay, so the area between the top and the bottom. So the top is the blue one, which is the 9 minus x squared. And you're subtracting the bottom equation there, which is y equals -1. So minus a -1. I'm pulling this out and doing it slightly differently this time. So in case you didn't like it the other way, maybe you like it this way. That's your R0, your RO. The inside radius is from the yellow function, which is the top of this section, which is the x squared plus 1. And you're subtracting off that line, -1. So that gives you x squared plus 1, or x squared plus 2. So that when I go to put it in my formula for the volume, and keep in mind, we are going from x equals -2 to 2. So this is pi times the integral from -2 to 2. And then you want your r outside squared. So that is the 10 minus x squared that we calculated squared. Minus the inside radius squared. The inside radius we determined to be x squared plus 2 squared dx. And that'll find us the volume. From here, we are going to expand and simplify. That's going to give us 100 minus 20x squared. Why is this jumping around? Sorry. Plus x to the 4th. And then minus x to the 4th minus 4x squared minus 4 dx. Okay, now notice that I squared that and distributed my negative all at the same time, so make sure that you're doing the same if you're skipping steps like that. All right, let's see. Conveniently, my x to the 4ths will cancel, and we end up with -24x squared plus 96, if I'm doing that right. From there, we want to find our antiderivative. So that gives me -8x cubed plus 9/2 x squared evaluated. Whoops, I forgot my pi. Evaluated from -3 to 3. That's going to give us pi times, when you plug in 3 cubed is 27. 27 times 8 is 216. So this is -216. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 9 is 81. So plus 81 over 2 is when I plug in 3. Minus when I plug in -3. -3 cubed is -27 times 8 is going to give me positive 216. And when you plug in -3 and square it, that's 9. 9 times 9 is 81. So this is plus 81 over 2. That way, hold on, back the train up. You guys are going to be like, what the heck is she doing? This is a 96 dx. I don't know where the x came from. I was getting some funky things. And I switched from 2 to 3 somewhere. Holy geez, guys. So sorry about that. Let's try this again. So antiderivative here is negative 8x cubed plus 96x. And I'm evaluating from negative 2 to 2. So that's pi times. When you cube 2, that's 8. 8 times 8 is negative 64. Plus 96 times 2 is 192. Subtracting from that, when you plug in negative 2, that's negative 8 times negative 8 is positive 64 minus 192. And it should give you 192 minus 64 and double it. Should give us 256 pi. There we go.